in college or have students in college, you might be quite familiar with the Student Financial Aid Form, FASFA. The form has undergone some changes this year.
Our Melina Williams is with SUNY Oswego's Director of Financial Aid, Jenny Hoffman, to discuss how these changes are affecting students. Melina?
Thanks, Jolie and Thomas. Thanks for joining me today. So the first question I have for you is what changes have been implemented to this version of FAFSA compared to previous years?
Thank you so much for having me. So there have been many changes that have been updated from the FAFSA from 2023, 2024 to 24-25. The first of which, and I think which really makes a difference in the student experience when filling out the form, is that there are far fewer questions. So last year, looking back, there were over 100 questions on the FAFSA. Now this year for 24-25, the Department of Education has reduced the number down to only 35 questions. So that really makes the process, I think, a lot more simple for students and families, and it makes the process a lot more, well, I'll say a lot less intimidating for students too. And in addition to the number of questions on the FAFSA, the federal methodology has also changed as well. There are a few things that have been updated now. So number one, the number of students in college, that will still appear on the form, but it's been removed from the methodology. So in the past, where families had 2 children in college, that would actually kind of split their eligibility or split the expected family contribution in 2, which could mean that students might qualify for additional federal aid. Unfortunately, that's one of the pieces that the Department of Ed has actually removed from the needs analysis calculation and the functionality. But what they've done is actually allow at the campus level financial aid administrators to use a process that's called professional judgment to kind of build that back in. So now families will just have to submit documentation to financial aid offices to show that they have more than 1 child in college, and then we can kind of build that back into the formula so students and families don't miss out on that aid eligibility. Wow. So yeah, so that makes it really, really nice. Like the form is streamlined too. So there's some skip logic where if questions don't seem to apply to a particular student, it'll skip right over it. So it could even be that families are seeing less than 35 questions on the FAFSA.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me today.
Of course.
And